Hey guys, it's Caleb from KCNE Studios, and today we're going to be continuing our little series where I'm basically making up my own ideas for each movie. And so each episode we're going to be talking about a movie. So we're on the third movie in my little series that I have devised myself. Um, I got the script for the whole story. Maybe not a script, but an idea, short story idea. Of what the movie would be like about. So, anyways, yeah, let's get started with the story. So, let me get to the thing. So, just FYI, I I have been like really you know like not sick but really allergic lately. So if you hear me like sniffling and snorting and stuff like that, um, that means that, well, I'm like, it's just because I'm like, I'm not sick, but you know what I mean. So, anyways, let's get started. Actually, before we get started, I want to tell you guys that so I have my little lights right there, and they help me out with like lighting my desk and collection and things like that. And I thought, well, it's too bright, so I put a cloth over it. It just like burst into flames. So I had to pick it up and accidentally dropped it, and it fell on the carpet. So now the carpet is like we put this cleaner stuff on it, like this cleaner foam on it, and we're like waiting for it to dry. So yeah, interesting story. But anyways, let's start. So this movie is a Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla movie. It is called Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla: The Battle of the Mechas. So it begins with the Japanese government tracking down Godzilla. So they find that he is leaving Japan, where he had desolated earlier in the very first movie, and he is swimming to like towards the U.S. So he's swimming east. The scene cuts to Godzilla as he's walking like into the ocean, and it cuts to the as he's walking, it shows the title of the movie, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla: Battle of the Mechas. So um, so next is a scene at the UN building in New York, where the U.S. is freaking out because they know Godzilla's coming to their homeland, our homeland, I guess, since we're all in America. And they're freaking out, like, what are we gonna do about Godzilla and stuff? And so the Japanese, they confess that they have made two autonomous weapons called Mechagodzilla, which is a robot that is kind of like a autonomous clone of Mechagodzilla, which here's his design. Actually, there's two designs that I like. There's this one, get a good look at it, and then there's this one. And so basically, these were from these were not original designs. They are from Toho. They're like concept arts for different Mechagodzillas. One is from Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla, and one is from Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla from 1993. So yes, I really like both of those designs. I would be very happy with both of them. Just the one thing that they both lack is they lack a battle pack with like missiles and things like that. That's the only thing I would want. But anyways, so yeah, they show, and then they also have another mech called Senshi, which is kind of like a mix between a Gundam, which is this, and Red Ronin, which is a character from the Marvel Universe that fought Godzilla in their little Godzilla series, which that's a whole another story. His name is Senshi X. It's very much like a samurai. The Japanese show a projection on a projector of Mechagodzilla going and finding Varan, who was on the little island in the previous movie. He goes and he beats him up. So it's basically to preview to the other people in the UN to show how his firepower, he can hover around and like shoot Varan, and then he can do melee as well. He's got Fist of Fury, things like that. Just so they could show them he can like maraud them with missiles and things like that. So next, I gotta find the next part. Is this it? Next part of my notes? Okay, yeah, so he fights with Varen, and in the end he leaves Varen nearly to die. So it was kind of like a test footage of Mechagodzilla's might. So everyone's impressed, and they say, well, yeah, the world leaders are very impressed. They say that since she's still under construction, but nearly finished, the Japanese give information that Godzilla is moving south. So he's not on his course for the U.S. anymore. And then the scene cuts to a... Yeah, see, allergies. So the scene cuts to a Russian submarine, and they notice they had hacked into the... Sorry, I'm looking at my phone a lot. This is just so I can read from it. I'm not like, looking at stuff. So anyways, yeah, so the Russians had hacked into the UN meeting, meaning they could hear everything that was going on. So they're listening in on the conversation in the UN. So the Russians, they're like, okay, this is our chance to get back at America because Russia and America don't have a good history, if you know what I mean. And so the Russian submarine, they get Godzilla to follow him, and they lead him to a nuclear facility. And so by now, the UN, they're like, okay, so we just got hacked by the Russians. They've been listening to our conversation, and so yeah, they've been listening to our conversation. So we gotta like punish them or something. But right now we got Godzilla to deal with. So Godzilla, he's coming to he comes up onto the island, and he goes to the nuclear plant. It's kind of like the scene from 1984 where he takes the nuclear tank or something like that, and it's spewing nuclear gas, and Godzilla's just sitting there consuming it. And then Mechagodzilla comes. He hovers in, and they have an epic battle, and then Mechagodzilla loses. He's pretty damaged and stuff like that. So then, let me see my notes. Dang, I got a lot of notes. Okay, so then Godzilla, he consumes the radiation, and then he goes he goes to the ocean, and he sleeps. So then the UN meets up again. They continue repairing Mechagodzilla, but now, ooh, that was my phone. Now they're done constructing Senshi X. So Senshi X. So yeah, I thought it was a cool name. So they're done with him. The UN's meeting. Two other world nations, the U.S. and China, they confessed that they had autonomous robots too. So the U.S., which I didn't really think about this, but they could have used this at first. They had a robot called Mogera, and you guys know Mogera. I would just stick with this design. And then China has Jaguar, and I think they should go with a more modernized Jet Jaguar. And here's a design for him right here. So yes, so they decide, okay, well, next time Godzilla comes, we'll gang up on him with all four of our mechas. So they calculate that Godzilla, once he awakes, he's going to go attack San Francisco. So they evacuate the city, and they leave all the mechas there. So then Godzilla, he is he wakes up and he starts heading over there, and then on the way, there's all these Russian submarines, and they were sent there saying, by the president, they were convinced that, well, these missiles are super powered or something like that, and they'll definitely defeat Godzilla. They didn't work. Godzilla marauds all of them, and in fact, all the radiation from the nuclear submarines, because they're all nuclear submarines, by the way. Godzilla destroys all of them. So when Godzilla appears in San Francisco, which is a very like I would picture it being a very eerie scene where Godzilla, you see his spikes rising up to the bay. All the mechas, they're like getting ready for battle. Godzilla rises, and he's huge compared to the other mechas. Like, this is Godzilla. This is Godzilla, and these are like the mechas. So they're a lot shorter than Godzilla. Godzilla got huge, and the rest of the mechas, they're like, they're pretty like scared. So then you got this awesome epic battle. Godzilla fights all of them. I would want it to last a while, but they end up losing and winning at the same time. They get Godzilla to leave the U.S., but all the mechas like were destroyed in the process. Besides Mechagodzilla, he's the only survivor who actually managed to like get the job done. So Godzilla's leaving. Mechagodzilla's nearly destroyed, and basically that's the end of the movie. So yes, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. But yes, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will be seeing you guys next episode. Actually, next video will be my my Minecraft Let's Play. So yes, hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and I will be seeing you guys later. Bye bye.